Tom.
I watched the. I don't care about these anymore. So you guys take this. I don't care.
Wait, you don't care about this anymore?
Nah, I don't care about these movies. I don't care. And that trailer sucked, man. Like it's 3 minutes long. They showed the whole movie in the trailer. Like I don't
That I'll
care.
agree with. That was my tweet.
So,
Well, I
well, there you
think
go,
Chad-
guys. What do you think then? Come on.
I think
What do you
Shadow was right too. He's like, why is this? He said the same thing you did, Nate. He's like, why is this so long? It could have been 2 minutes long and told us less about the film.
Well, they've come out with better teasers recently. I mean, look, you had Alien Romulus, great teaser. You had Penguin, absolutely incredible teaser, and then you had this. Like it's bloody, it's the whole film. Like, come on, they were on such a roll.
Yeah, and I actually liked Bad Boys 3, and the trailer didn't look too bad, but like you just said, I don't really see any reason to see the movie now because I got I can pretty much surmise the whole movie from what I saw in the trailer. Not only that, this felt like one of those trailers like Roadhouse recently, where you literally get something from almost every scene in the movie. And I don't know if you got this vibe too, H, from while you were watching. Like you're like, I've seen this, I've seen this,
yeah,
I've seen this, I've seen this. That's in the trailer. It's like, so you get to that point where it's like you've seen a bit of every scene in the trailer. It's like there's nothing left to really surprise you with or give you any kind of misdirections or anything, because you can kind of figure where this movie is going to go just from the trailer, especially if you watch the last film. And I'm just kind of like, wow, why didn't you guys push this off even more? Because and you guys are right, like this should not be this long of a trailer.
You're literally watching scenes from the first, second, and third act of the movie.
Yeah,
and you're like, right.
Yeah, I can pretty much surmise exactly the whole plot for you, and I did in my tweet. Right,
Yeah,
just from the trailer.
This is the scene right before Will Smith's gonna smack Martin Lawrence, and I think we have a recreation of that here somewhere.
Well, it's pretty obvious. Okay, here's what you get. I didn't even put this.
Yeah,
are they really? That was going to be one of my questions. Do you think they actually will have him slap anybody in this movie? They'll avoid
Can
it.
you imagine if that was? They'd be having some balls if they did that.
I bet you they won't.
It would be great.
Like, clearly, what this movie's about is like Martin Lawrence or something like that has some sort of heart attack, and then they're getting close to the end. He's going to be retiring, whatever. But then their boss gets set up for some kind of drug crime that he obviously didn't commit. So these guys have to go outside the law to prove him innocent, and they're going to have to team up with Will's illegitimate son, who grew up in the criminal organizations, to learn how to be criminals outside the law, to figure out who's setting up their boss. And my guess is he may even have an idea of who that person is and what's going on too. So I think that's who it is in that scene in the fire, where they're by the fire. That's his son, I think. But it's been about a year or two since I watched the third film. So, but like, I didn't hate the third film. I thought the third film was pretty good, and it actually retroactively made the second film better for me. Because I remember the first film when it came out, that was before Michael Bay was Michael Bay, and I loved the first film. I'm like, this is our Beverly Hills Cop, right? When it came out as a teenager, I was like, this is our Beverly Hills Cop. And then second film come out, and I'm like, oh my God, this is just Michael Bay the movie. Like, it's like every Michael Bayism you could put into a movie. And then the third film comes out in retro. Like I said, I was like, okay, so a lot of the stuff that was in the second film I didn't care for, I just didn't like. They've come back around and made me. You have to kind of see the second film to get the jokes in part 3 now. So like, okay. And the third film was just that much more charming than the last one too. So I was like, okay, cool. But then the slap happened and all the other crap happened. And yeah, I've just lost any kind of, I don't know, like, I'll wait for video. I really don't feel any need to go see this. And this is dropping in the opening weekend of June, where Ghostbusters should have been. And that's the other thing that bothers me. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, it seems like no one else is really that bothered either, because I mean, it's been out for 9 hours. It's not even got 1 million views.
No, not even 1 million views.
That's bad.
Especially considering that Bad Boys 3 was the highest grossing film heading into the COVIDs. I don't know if everybody remembers that. That was the highest grossing film of that year because everything got shut down.
Yep.
And did this just shut down after the slap? And then it was back on?
This is a movie that's been on again, off again since part 3, because if you guys remember, all that stuff happened with the cops. So there was a point where that's where it was more off again than on again. And then after the slap, I think is when it was Will's people were really pushing for this because he needs this right now. He needs this win bad.
Well, and he also, the guys that they're working with, the dual directors.
That's true too. Yes.
They begged for this to get turned back on because of what happened to their Batgirl film. So, because it just kind of wrecked their career, derailed it. So
yeah, because being associated with that and the Marvels has not helped their stock. I know.
No.
Because they were pretty hot coming off of Bad Boys 3.
Yeah. I feel like it's weird that we now have these moments in time we can mark as like mileposts along our timeline, and one of them is the slap. It's like, how long was it pre-slap or was it post-slap? I mean, it's going to be like 80, you know.
And that's why I don't understand why they didn't push this back to like later in the year. I think you would want to put as much distance between you and that slap as possible in this film, right? And there's not anything coming out in June other than Despicable Me, whatever the hell one they're on now. So like, why wouldn't you put Ghostbusters there and then move this to like August or December? Like, because otherwise there's not much coming up until July with Deadpool. I mean, we're getting nothing but sequels and remakes and reboots and everything.
Reboot quills.
I mean, and I'm not sure many of them are going to do that well. Beetlejuice, and Alien are the only two I think might have a chance. But even Alien, I think Prometheus and Covenant have really ruined that film's chances of having a real decent box office.
At least it's blown up, man. That trailer's really blown up.
I hope it for its sake that it's a good movie because, if people actually get disappointed by an Alien film in a way, that's going to be...
In one day, the teaser trailer for Alien Romulus got more views.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about that.
Well, as I said,
that's 2 days.
And I said, that's an outlier. That's a plausibility, like I said. Yeah. And they're also coming off of Prey, which a lot of people now associate those two properties as the same. So that might help it. You know, like I said, there's a big, to this day, we just bring it up here and people, even in the chat, have varied opinions on Prometheus and Covenant. To me, that's a bad thing to have going on in your franchise.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, what do we think this is going to do very well? I think, judging by the fact it's not even hit 1 million views, I think this is going to bomb hard.
Unfortunately, I think it's not going to do well. And I think that's where the mistake of putting it in the prime spot of your summer season. Sony should have been paying attention to this sooner. They should have dropped this trailer a lot sooner. Or actually, they should have dropped a teaser like 2 months ago or so. But now they've committed to this shit. It's too late. They screwed this whole thing up.
Nick, do you reckon it's going to bomb?
I mean, I don't disagree. I think it's going to be a bomb. People, I just don't think are interested in Will Smith movies at this point, especially after the slap. I mean, you can look at the views. I mean, The Acolyte got more views than this trailer. Really?
Well, that's probably a lot of hate views too. But
yeah, definitely a lot of hate views. But I don't think people are that interested. I mean, I'm not going to pay to go see it. I'm going to wait for it to come out on a streaming service.
No, I think that slap really hurt Will. I think it will for a while.
But it's not just, it's also his wife. His wife saying all this crap is hurting him as well, massively.
No, it's hurt his image. How can you be He-Man superhero movie star, which I don't think anybody can argue that before that slap and his wife basically making him look like a cuck, pardon my French, but it's the actual term, let's be real. Before all that, he was Will Smith. Regardless of what you may have thought about him personally, he was a guy who could open a friggin' movie, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And now he's become like a laughing stock. He's a joke. Imagine if this had happened to like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Or Bruce Willis, right? Like if Demi had done this to him, oh my God, would that have been devastating to his career? Yeah. You cannot have that kind of happen to your image when you're that kind of a superstar, male superstar. It just doesn't work for you like that, which is sad because he was the last true movie star we kind of had. So
Culture, do you reckon this is going to bomb or not?
Oh yeah, this thing's toast. I mean, sorry, I'm going to make the table unanimous at this point. Unfortunately, Will's career is going to be defined by that terrible moment in time on the night that he won an Oscar, which is just insane to me. So, a guy that definitely has earned what fame he had. The problem is that if you're only putting on a facade, and that's a joke. folks.
Facade.
If you know where it's from. Yeah. If you're only putting on a facade all the time to be, the nice guy Hollywood guy, and it's just complete bogus, and it's been 6 years of hell with the wife that, you're supposedly so dedicated to. I mean, your whole world is torn asunder. So,
and I agree with some people in the chat that yes, it's the cucking that was worse than the slap, but the slap was more or less. People need to understand the slap was the moment that everybody kind of became aware of everything, because you got to remember, normies weren't so much aware of their situation. We were, like, a lot of people who were into the gossip stuff or into the entertainment news had heard about these things, but when that slap happened, and that slap was like a cry for help. Let's be real. Like, that was a very bitch made move that it just didn't quite work out the way I think Will was planning it to. And he didn't think it through.
All right.
And that just shined a light on everything else. That was my point. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I won't see me arguing with you there. I think you're completely right. That was the thing which hung a lantern on everything, quite frankly.